setting up and running a restaurant is the hardest thing I have done and will ever do. I'm convinced of this, and I now have 3 children.
Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ media production coming to you from London at a WeWork. And I'm here with Christian Mouysset,
Very good.
the CEO and founder of Tenzo. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. I'm so happy this could happen.
We have a deep belief. We started this was our original podcast that we started in 2017, and I've been every single week consistently producing audio, video, words, and images. 9 years we've been building this media company on top of our barbecue business. And we believe deeply that we're not alone as restaurateurs, as business owners, and we also believe in technology. We've been able to interview some of the greatest tech founders, not only in the hospitality space, but all over, in all spaces, media space, hospitality. And I'm honored to be here because you are a restaurateur that had a problem and then built a tech company to start solving solutions. Can you share, what is Tenzo?
What is Tenzo? Well, maybe I'll start with where I started and what
Let's
the problem
start where you
was.
started.
So I grew up in France, and that was a very good...
Mouysset.
I'm impressed.
Would your mother be
my my mum's English, actually. My dad's French.
Really? Oh, so your dad would be...
But my dad would be very impressed.
Yeah. See, there you go.
So I grew up in France, moved to the UK to study computer science.
Okay.
And then after graduating, I did the obvious thing of setting up a chain of restaurants, right? Like, no one asked me, like, how did
Was
you
your father upset?
To credit
Or
to
your
my
mother,
parents, they supported it.
They supported it.
As in they were like, yeah, do whatever you dream to do, go and do it. I'm sure part of them was just like, where did this come from?
Really?
Yeah.
So you studied computer science, and
Yep.
you went into food.
Yep.
Did you look at the financial model of restaurants before you went into food?
Well, I had met this incredible guy at uni who his background was, he was originally from Israel, and he loved hummus. And we would eat hummus with, basically, whenever we'd meet up, we'd eat hummus. And one day we were like, we both wanted to set up our own businesses. And we were just like, what we should do is go and set up a hummusia, which is a hummus restaurant. Because we looked at the hummus market in the UK, and it's a £100 million market growing at like 50% year on year. They
did look at the data.
Yeah, we did look at
the data.
We didn't go without looking at the data. We had this, and I remember that we opened our first branch on Wardour Street, number 88 Wardour Street.
Okay.
Incredible location.
What year was this?
This was 2005.
And you never opened up a restaurant before?
Never.
2005?
Never.
Right out of uni?
Right out of uni.
Where'd you get the money?
Back then, banks would lend people.
Banks were naive.
Well, it was before 2008 where now banks
I opened in 2008. I know. We didn't get any money from any banks.
I bet they wouldn't.
No,
but in 2005,
we're bootstrapped.
They looked at like a couple of early 20-year-olds and like, yeah, you look like you know what you're talking about. You're telling me there's a £100 million market here and growing,
wow.
Let's go. So we opened 6 high street locations.
6,
yeah.
When you opened 6, that was the plan to open 6, or first you opened 1?
We opened 1.
When did you know it was successful?
Oh, very quickly. Soho is incredible because Soho in London at least is...
Was this fast casual concept?
Fast casual,
okay.
Yeah. So you'd basically, or at lunchtime you'd order the till.
Yep.
They'd make the bowl of hummus, put the topping on it, and then most people took away at lunch. But at dinner, you'd sit down and
like a hummus chipotle?
Yeah, a hummus chipotle. Exactly.
Really? When did Chipotle start? Around the same time?
No, later.
Earlier?
They came later.
Oh, you guys were first?
Yeah, we were
heard
first.
it here, see?
Yeah, we were first.
Pre-Chipotle.
And in the UK, we're talking,
in the UK,
of course.
Of course.
Yeah. And so grew that to 6 high street branches.
How quickly did you open the second one?
The second one, a couple years after. So
did you go back to the bank and get more money, or did you finance it yourself?
No, we got more money.
Okay.
They were still in.
They're
still pre-2008.
You were paying.
Yeah, we were paying.
You were doing well.
We were doing, yeah. So. And that first branch was open 7 days a week, busy lunch, breakfast, dinner. It was incredible.
Did you work in the business?
Yeah, of course, man.
Really?
Yeah. I say it to this day. Setting up and running a restaurant is the hardest thing I have done and will ever do. I'm convinced of this, and I now have 3 children.
It's the truth. It is the truth.
And it's incredible, but at the same time, I loved it. The highs you get when everything is like, you know, when the queue is to the door and people are like loving it and telling their friends. I remember people walking in, and so you'd have one person who was excitedly telling their friend, and their other friend would look skeptical. It's like, this
I don't
place,
believe you.
what is it? And then we'd give them a taste, and they're like, wow, this is great, you know. And that was just incredible.
You made them a believer.
Yeah, you made them a believer, 100%. Right? And then they're bringing their friends in. It was incredible. So grew that to 6 branches, and then we started doing corporate pop-ups in a lot of banks, and like, so we would go into the JP Morgan bank and serve in their canteen. We'd serve like 500-600 people at lunch.
Really?
Yeah, and then we'd go to Goldman's and BA. We did 500 or 600 a year of these that we were just, it was insane. And we had like this central kitchen. But the thing that drove me freaking bonkers was just how hard it was for me to run this business, right? We had 100 people, like, you know, restaurants in some ways are so simple, right? You've got your sales, your labor, your inventory, right? Those are your 3 controllables. Yeah. Everything else is there, but like you can't really control it. Like the rent is the rent. You can't really negotiate it once it's done. But the sales, the labor, and the inventory, every single day you can rock up and you can decide you're going to pull those 3 levers, right? I could be like, so we had this amazing mint and ginger lemonade. On a hot day, which we didn't have many in London, but you know, on a hot, nice day, you'd be like, would you like a mint and ginger lemonade with that, sir? And 70% of people would say, yeah, that sounds great. Like, it's a nice warm day, I'm gonna get that. But if you didn't do that, that day might not be profitable. If you only sold 20% of people to get a mint and ginger lemonade instead of 70,
then you wasted it all.
And you wasted it all. And I was just like in this catch-22. Every month I think, okay, we're going to be good this month. Yeah. Sales are going to be good. The labor, we've controlled it. The inventory, and we'd get to the end of the month. You'd crunch all the numbers. 10 days after the end of the month, you realize and be like, where's this shit? Like, I didn't make it again.
Where's the money?
Where's the money? Right?
Where's the money? I saw all the people come in and they brought their friends in. Where's the money?
Where's the money?
Yeah.
And it's funny. This morning we had this conversation with some of our customers, and one thing that one of them said is, I used to spend 90% of my time trying to get all the data and 10% actually looking at it.
Yes.
Right? That was my life at Hummus Brothers, is I was downloading all this data, getting it all together, and then by the time I got it
You're tired.
Tired.
I'm tired.
Freaking tired.
What do you want me to do with that?
Yeah, and by the way, even if I knew, then my team wouldn't know, right?
It's the worst part.
It's the worst part.
It's the worst part. You spend all that time trying to educate yourself, which is hard enough to do. And then once you convince yourself, like, I got to go share this, and they're like, I'm too tired to listen to you.
Exactly. And by the way, they say, you're talking to me about a week ago?
Yeah.
That's great. But if you told me a week ago, maybe
a week ago is best.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the best.
Right?
I mean, if we're honest, most restaurants they don't even operate on monthly P&Ls.
Right.
It's a monthly P&L that comes 8 weeks later.
And at that time, what's the point?
What good is that information?
Nothing. Zero, right?
No good.
It's in restaurant, the data, the expiry date on data is so fast, right?
Yes.
Like, it's like, if you have it, my view is real time. If you have it on the shift, you and I can talk about it before the shift, say, hey, you know what, we're going to sell this lemonade, let's go and do it. Let's get to 70%. If after lunch we can look and say, oh yeah, we're at 70%, great, let's keep pushing. But if we talk about it the next day, maybe you and I remember the day before, and it's not because, you know, we thought, I'm getting a bit old here, but like still, it's like you've got a million things going on. The week after, you've had 5 shifts. Do you remember? A month, it's finished, right?
I don't remember what I did yesterday.
Yeah, same here.
I need to know now.
And so that's really the problem we wanted to solve, is I wanted to help restaurant teams to get that data in the hands of their GMs in real time so that they could make the right decisions. I wanted to be able to connect, so we connect now to 120 different providers in the space.
120?
Yeah, whether that's Toast, whether that's Square, whether that's Lightspeed, Zonal, etc., whether it's 7 Shifts, whether it's like Harry, you name it, MarketMan, Suppi.
Restaurant 365.
Restaurant 365. The OpenTable, SevenRooms, all of these, to really aggregate all that data in real time.
Third parties? Third-party delivery?
Third-party delivery, yeah. We normally get it through the POS,
POS,
but sometimes we do get it directly from people like Delivery or DoorDash and things like that.
I mean, that is part of the problem too.
It is part of the problem, right?
It's like getting it from the POS is not getting it from Uber Eats, and Uber Eats sends a different report to us. With DoorDash sends a different report,
and people are confused, right? And they're still trying to dig.
Correct.
So we bring all that in real time, and then 2 things happen. One is you can go and visualize all that data on your mobile, on your website, like you on the web app. automated emails. So that's kind of like, how do your ops team engage with it?
Yep.
So make it really easy for you to see that data. And then we basically have an MCP now, which means like an AI connector. So you can plug it into Claude, to Copilot, to ChatGPT, to Gemini.
Explain MCP Connector, because it's a very hot button
Let's talk
topic.
about it.
Let's talk about it. What is MCP Connector?
An MCP, well, it stands for Model Context Protocol.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
That's terrible.
It rolls
That
off
is
the tongue.
terrible. Say it again.
Model Context Protocol.
Model Context Protocol. I don't think that's going to stick.
No. It's like an API, but you know an API. No one really knows what an API stands for.
What does an API stand for?
Application protocol. No, I've forgotten what it is now. No.
See, we ask the hard questions
Interface.
on digital hospitality. We ask the hard questions. See, if
It's application
tech
protocol.
you're a restaurateur and a tech founder, we still don't know the language that we. How's the sales team supposed to go sell the restaurant?
I've got it. But you see, so it's like an API. You can see an MCP as an API, but you add context to it. So like, let me explain what that means. So we bring in all your data into a data warehouse. That means that we'll bring in your data from Toast or 7Shift or MarketMan into one database.
Okay.
We organize it. So it means
you clean it.
We clean it.
Yes.
We clean it.
Because it's messy.
It's messy.
Yes.
It's also organized differently depending on the POS you use. You might organize it. So we make it look the same.
Yep.
So we have like kind of a standard, if you want. We clean it and we put it to a standard. We then augment that with context.
Is this an accounting standard, financial standard, or the Tenzo standard?
It's a Tenzo standard.
Got it.
So it's a standard. How we've put that together is by looking at all the different POSs out there, labor tools, and understanding their data, how they organize their data, and then we basically say, well, we're going to organize it in a way that everyone can be captured that way. Once we've done that, what we do is we add context to it. So what does context mean? It's basically we give it, because we only work with hospitality providers, we give it all the context around hospitality. You know, like SPLH means spend per labor hour. You calculate it by taking net sales divided by number of labor hours. So we give it all that context. We give it context around your business. So are you Let Us Entertain You or JKS or Honest Burgers? And what is special about you? Do you run multiple brands? What are those brands? We explain the ethos of the business and all that. And then the final piece of context is your GM that's sitting in your branch. At the end of the day, they might be capturing something that your data doesn't have. So let's say, I don't know, it hailed, which probably in June is possible in England, and you had to close the terrace because people don't want to sit there. You might write that because that might not be, well, you could put weather data in, but there might be information, your dishwasher broke down. That wouldn't be in the data. So you want to be putting things there that help when you go and ask Claude about your data, that it knows this. So all of that is the context, if you want.
Can you explain to me, how do we get the manager log into the data?
So how did we get them to engage with that data or to fill in an end of day report?
Why is the manager log not central? Because out of all the places in a restaurant, the place where teams, managers are inputting data is in a manager log, and whether that's on 7Shifts or whatever the platform it is. But it's like, it's the source of truth that needs to be scraped. Am I wrong?
Correct. So
because that's the variable. That's the human variable.
100%. What I tell all our customers, in Tenzo, you can, when a GM logs in, they can see all their data. So what were my sales, my labor, my inventory, my reviews, reservations, etc. And then they have this place where they can fill in an end of day report, a logbook. I'm 100% in agreement with you, and I tell all our customers,
it's the most important part.
You want to be capturing that, because that will augment everything else.
Yes. Because that's the thing that's top of mind for the team.
Yep, 100%. A, for handover, but also B, when you look back at it a day later, a week later, a year later, you're not going to remember what happened that day. And it might not tell you in your data. So you need to remember, or you need to have a log of what happened. And so we encourage all of our customers to be doing that religiously.
Where are the logs right now? Like
in
typically
Tenzo.
Like where are you inputting logs from? Like which platforms?
So we get the GM to enter it in Tenzo. So they fill in separately.
So you don't have any.
So most customers in the UK, most people in the UK still are doing emails or an Excel.
Stop it.
I promise you.
Emails? Like emailing the team about the end of day?
Yeah.
Like in a chain?
Or WhatsApp.
Stop it.
No, I'm serious, man.
So how do we get the WhatsApp group chat into Tenzo?
That's exactly what we tell our customers to do, is to say,
But there's no way to import it.
No, we don't import. We tell
You're not
them,
allowed to.
Well,
is it a WhatsApp thing?
WhatsApp is like generates. Well, there's two reasons we're going to do it. One is like WhatsApp have encrypted end-to-end point, but two is a WhatsApp group won't typically have any organization around it. It will be like just like I'll be saying, oh, the dishwasher broke down. You say, oh, the engineer's coming tomorrow.
Susie didn't come in for a shift.
Exactly, but there's no like prompts that tell you what you should be filling in, right? So our best customers, I see it. They write, okay, write about the team, and in the team we'd like you to talk about this. Write about the kitchen.
Isn't that double entry?
Well, generally
it's hard enough to get one entry.
Well, yeah, but people just now do it in like
really?
our customer,
because they understand the value of it.
Yeah, and because you know what? So some of the best. I'll give you some examples. So we talked a little bit about the MCP there. The goal of that is then to connect it into Claude. Some of the best prompts I see. I'll give you 2 or 3 examples. One, ops director comes in, 11 locations they have. Instead of reading the 11 shift reports, prompts Claude, summarize the shift reports for yesterday and tell me the 3 things to do. Boom. Instead of spending an hour on it, 5 minutes, and he's got exactly what he needs to be able to know what to do. Second use case, you're an area manager.
Yes.
Area managers, freaking hard job.
Very hard job.
Which branches do you go and see? What do you say to the GM when you go and see them? Prompt is this: I'm the area manager with these 14 sites. Tell me which locations I see at what time, and what should I talk to the GM? It says, Tuesday, you should go in this location at lunchtime because your average spend is at the lowest of the week. So just go and sit there and see what's going on. Friday, they've got too much stuff. Go and sit in that other branch to see what's happening. And then, by the way, when you're there, talk to them about these 3 bad reviews. Talk to them about being overstaffed on this and wasting too much here. And they've got a prep sheet, like a sheet that tells them exactly what they need to be talking to that GM. It's organized, it's backed by data. And you could even ask about like those end of day reports. Oh, you mentioned these 3 issues in the last month, right? That to me is such a powerful point where you're making the area manager's job so much easier.
Yes.
Because, and actually value add, right?
100%.
Because instead of just rocking
because
up,
no one's coaching them.
No one's coaching them. If no one's coaching them, no one's coaching the GM because that's their role, right?
Correct.
And so that to me is such a huge opportunity there.
You had how many customers this morning?
So this morning we had 3 on the panel.
3 on the panel, but yesterday you had 40.
So we had 40 at the Buildathon last week.
40 at the Buildathon last week. And what is a Buildathon?
So a Buildathon is such a great word, I think. So we were thinking of calling it a hackathon.
Yeah. And so hackathon it's a thing in software companies.
It
correct?
is, right?
Yeah, where you solve a problem. You put your engineers together. You have them under time constraints solve something or invent something. Is that right?
Exactly right.
Okay.
And so we thought, let's call it a hackathon, and then we spoke to a few people and they said, this sounds a bit scary.
Restaurants said that?
Yeah. So we're like, what about...
Yeah, we don't need to get hacked. we have enough on the growing list of restaurant problems. It's like the last thing I need to do is like getting hacked. No thanks.
So then we were like, should we call it a masterclass? And we were like, masterclass sounds lame.
Yeah.
And then we were like, so someone on the team came up with Buildathon. We're like, actually, Buildathon is good because it's not as scary and actually it's collaborative. And so we had like 40 people.
Getting 40 restaurateurs in a room is like that. Kudos to you. That's very well done.
That is because these guys are busy, right?
And there's like, what day did you do it? Monday?
We did it Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday's good.
Yeah,
either Monday or Wednesdays.
Wednesday 2 to 5.
Tuesday's tough.
Yeah.
There we go. They're all tough.
They're all tough. I was going to say.
Well, definitely not Friday night, Saturday or Sunday.
We were like, definitely stay away from those. But we were like, Wednesday 2 to 5. Is that going to work?
That's a good.
And so they came in, and we basically we looked to build things. So we connected them all to Tenzo's MCP. So they're all Tenzo customers.
Yes.
So we plugged it into either Claude or Copilot or Gemini or whichever one they wanted to use, and we started building.
What was the split from the 40? How many were using Claude? How many using Copilot? And how many using Gemini? So no ChatGPT.
Very little chat.
Really?
Yeah. So
Claude, is that a London, UK thing, or is that just? Claude has taken over.
I think Claude is so February last year.
Because last year it was just ChatGPT. There was no Claude discussion.
So February last year, like ChatGPT was the only thing.
It was
right? February this year is mostly like Claude now.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
So the rate of change, I mean...
It's insane. Imagine what it's going to be next year.
I know, I have no idea. Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. So we had a couple of people on Copilot, and that was...
Copilot's Microsoft, is that right? Yeah.
And it's interesting, Microsoft, because some organizations like...
Teams, come on. We're in 2026.
Yeah,
Come on.
I know.
Do we need to have this conversation? Like, talk about legacy tech.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree with
no
you.
offense to Microsoft, but come on, let's
And
up
it's
the
the
game.
hardest to connect. So what
I
we
just
said at the beginning.
not surprised. I can't even get on Teams.
I know.
I'd have to go send them a Google Meet link.
You know, when I try to log in to Microsoft Office, there's this like permutations of logins.
Why do they
and
make
everything.
it so hard?
I don't know. I was like, do you want me to be a
digital
customer?
hospitality?
No, there isn't.
The name
that.
of this show
There
is digital hospitality. It is terrible hospitality.
It is not there.
The worst. It's not there.
So we said to everyone who was on Copilot, our head of engineering is here. If you have any question about Copilot, just speak to him.
Speak to him.
No one else will know.
Yeah.
And then we had a lot of people. The majority were Claude, and then there were a few Gemini and maybe one or two ChatGPT. But it was very much like Claude. And to be fair,
and
to
all
them,
on the paid Claude.
Yeah.
Maximum.
Yeah.
Like 200.
No. Like the
$20.
The 20.
That's enough tokens.
Yeah.
For a restaurant.
I think for a restaurant to start with, we see the curve of
you
adoption.
have to do paid because of the privacy.
So actually, that's that. So
is that a misnomer?
Yes, I thought that too.
Okay, so we're getting educated here.
Yeah, I was very much. Yeah. I thought like you. So, but that's not the case anymore.
Okay.
You can, but you do need to know the setting. So there is a setting in ChatGPT and Claude on the free where you go into the settings and you say, do not use my data to train the model.
Interesting. Okay.
By default, it's set to
train the model.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, it's free. So,
yeah.
but if you go and turn that off, then on the free. The problem with the free is you're not going to have enough tokens.
And there's
honestly.
No memory either.
And there's no memory. And so
the
your
whole
experience.
Context is AI without context is
pointless.
Yeah.
Right. So, but the $20 a month, you get enough. As in, as a starter, right? I think you start seeing people graduate quite quickly to the 200 a month. But yeah, you can start with that. Okay. And it was fascinating to see because you had some people who were really very early in their journey. Mm-hmm. So they wanted us to help them connect everything up and they basically asked for some recipes on it and got some recipes and it worked and they were impressed. But then now it was doing some analysis. And then others, they've been building their own apps. They've been connecting, automating reporting that they want. Yep. Just it's fascinating to see. And the pace of change is insane.
Yes.
Right? And that's what I say to a lot of our clients is just try it, right? Try it because you will learn so much and it will compound so quickly.
I think that's probably one of we teach storytelling to restaurateurs and technology professionals. That's basically what we do. And getting people to use the tech is always scary. Humans don't want to be uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to talk to cameras and to cell phones and to tell your story. It's uncomfortable to do a build-a-thon and bring your restaurant data with other people that you might be competing
100%.
against and share those things. But the collaborative process, especially in the world that we live in now, it just moves too fast. And the people that are winning are honestly the ones that are willing to be vulnerable and try it out, look stupid, sound stupid, but then make iterative improvement day over day.
Totally. And by the way, I find that in a way, because the curve is so steep, more and more people are being more vulnerable about that.
I agree.
And because they're just I don't think I've spoken to anyone who's I figured this all out. I know exactly what's going on.
It's like someone that figured out social media. No one
Nobody's
figured out. No one's figured out social media.
Totally.
Tell us a little bit about what are the goals for the United States? You guys are in the United States.
Yeah, we've got a few
expanding.
brands. Yeah. So we've got already some brands that were in the UK that are expanding out to the US. So JKS being an example of that, which has been amazing, helping companies go that. And then we've got a bunch of customers. So there's ones that we've been working with for some time, like Primo Hoagies on the East Coast. And then some more recent ones like Let Us Entertain You, like Hog Salt, like One Off Hospitality. So a big cluster in Chicago that's really growing and where we've been getting some really incredible early successes there. And so we think that there's massive potential there.
So when we come back next year in 2027, what will Tenzo look like?
Whoa. Tenzo will be a lot bigger. Maybe not just the team, but more like the number of customers. I think we're seeing a lot in the US. There's also a lot happening in the UK. We're starting to see much larger brands now working with us Enterprise brands. So we've been working with the IHG hotels. So we do all of their UK and Europe F&B operations. So that's already a pretty big estate there. Honest Burgers.
You're doing more hotel work?
We do, but hotel focused on the F&B.
Yeah.
Hotels are fascinating to me.
Why?
Because I think they've all realized that they've realized two things. They've realized one, that actually the margin on the rooms, they've pulled pretty much every lever there is, right?
Right, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then they've also realized, hang on a second, we have this asset, which is this restaurant at the bottom, but we've only thought about catering for the people staying in our hotel,
Yes.
but we're in these great venues where there's people walking out on the outside. And so they talk a lot about turning the restaurant inside out, and it's always been the forgotten child. So when the restaurateur goes to the finance team in the hotel, says, hey buddy, can you tell me like, how did we do that? I say, yeah, let me just get to you, which they never get to because they're busy preparing everything for the hotel. And they've never had that visibility in real time on like restaurant KPIs. And we've surfaced that to people like Dean Hotels, IHG, Ennismore, and a bunch of others. And it really changes, like then they run like a real restaurant and there's so much they can optimize. And I mean, they're in a great place, right? Basically the rent is not really, is taken care of. They've got people in the restaurant already there, so they've got some staff there. And you know, if a lot of the ones we work with are 4 or 5 stars, so it's high end, so they know they can make these into very profitable elements of the. So there's one hotel we work in Paris, 50% of their revenue is F&B.
Wow.
50, right?
Wow.
And so to me, there's a real opportunity there in terms of bringing restaurant expertise in restaurants in hotel.
And a lot of the point of sale companies like Toast. I mean, Toast is going into a lot more hotels. They're starting to understand how much that hospitality means for room service, for the pool, for all of the different places that you interact with F&B.
Big time. I think it's a huge opportunity for Toast.
100%.
And so that's Europe. And then if I look at the US and APAC, we really want to build on like the success of these brands that we have. And I think hospitality is all about who do you see in your network who is using something that you respect.
That's
right?
it.
And in the UK, you went to see Latimer today. There's people like Caravan. There's people like JKS. There's people that look at these brands and are just like, wow, those guys are doing that. I should be doing that, right? Like so, people like Hogsall, people like Lettuce. That these are people like that others will look up to and say, those guys are doing that. I should be doing that, right? And that's what we'll be doing.
So one of my favorite parts of this show is that I get to find out about your personal tech stack.
Oh yeah.
So are you an iPhone or an Android user?
iPhone.
What version?
The latest, the
17.
17, is it?
Yes.
We're 17. I mean, I've lost count of like these things. Yeah.
How often do you upgrade?
You know what? Probably every 3 years now.
Every 3 years.
Yeah, I wasn't like there was a point where I was doing it every year, and then I felt like that it wasn't happening as much. But like I must say, the it's been nice to like get a new. How often do you upgrade?
Not as often as you would think. Probably every 2 years.
Okay, and your iPhone too?
iPhone. iPhone 17.
iPhone all the way.
Yeah, iPhone all the way for sure. Yeah, I've been doing. I think 1% of our guests answer Android. Yeah, so 99% of the guests that we have on the show are iPhone. What carrier do you use?
Vodafone.
And how long have you been with them?
Oh, a long time.
Since you've had a cell phone?
No. I probably like 10 years with this one.
10 years?
Yeah.
Do you prefer phone calls or text messages?
Texts.
Texts?
Yeah.
Do you do voice to text?
No, I freaking hate voice to text.
You voice to text?
No,
or do you hate receiving voicemails that are, like texts that are voices?
I hate receiving
text
that voice. I'm just like, buddy, you're putting the work on me.
Exactly.
Why do you think I want to do the work?
I don't want to do the work. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
It's the worst, and I don't send them because I feel feel like it's.
Do you leave voicemails?
No, I just.
Do you listen to voicemails?
No, never. I've finally turned off my voicemail. It's just like the worst waste of time. In my. You know what? The feature I love.
It's inefficient. It is
totally.
It's completely inefficient.
The best feature. The iPhone they just released, and I'm sure you use it. You know when they filter the call?
Oh yeah.
But they record and they write it for you?
Oh, it's the best.
I love that.
I know, I love it too.
I've been waiting
for it. I've been waiting for it forever, 100%.
It's the best thing.
How many emails do you get a day?
Emails?
Yeah.
250 probably.
250. How many of those do you enjoy reading?
Oh, great question. Probably 25, I would say.
25?
Yeah, okay. 25 a day I enjoy.
25
250.
Emails. What's your notification management system?
I have all notifications off.
All notifications off, including email?
Yeah, definitely email.
Are you inbox zero?
No, I'm not inbox zero.
So how many emails do you have on your phone?
25,000.
25,000, come on.
But you know why I turned off notifications? For 2 reasons. One is because I think otherwise you don't, when you're in a conversation and if you see your phone pinging, it's hard to like...
It's hard because it might be urgent.
It might be.
But it's never.
But it doesn't matter. Like I prefer to have the conversation with you and be focused on that and not being like, and I'm sure there's been like things I need to look, but it doesn't matter. I'm like, I'll get to them after. And secondly, for my children, because I think, you know, they look at us, right? As basically like role models or like what you know, how they look at, this is how one should be in a way. And I don't want them to be thinking, oh, it's someone who's constantly distracted and not focusing on me. If what's their self-worth going to be if they're like, my dad doesn't freaking like spend time focused on me when I'm, you know, so it's hard to do that.
Do you prefer photos or videos?
Ooh, photos.
How many photos do you have on your phone?
1,000, I don't know, I did 10, 20,000.
How many of those do you publish onto the internet?
Very little.
Those are all for you.
Yeah, they're all
and
for
the
me.
family.
Yeah, it's pictures of the family.
Yeah.
I'll send them on WhatsApp groups with with friends and family and things like that. But like, I wouldn't publish them. What I'll publish is like for work for LinkedIn on LinkedIn, like things like events that we do and things like that. That definitely.
Photos, but not videos.
No, but family, I don't share that. I think it's protecting their privacy in a way. Yeah.
That's good. Teams, Google Meet, or Zoom?
Google Meet. We used to be big Zoom.
And then you realized Google Meet was free?
Basically. And it was just easier, like you didn't need to like jump, like Google Meet is great. I think it's a great product.
Zoom worked great for the pandemic
Teams
and then it was
horrible.
just very expensive. Teams is just
horrible. I hate it every time.
It's the worst. Are you on Slack?
Yeah, Slack. Yeah.
How do you listen to music?
Spotify.
How do you watch videos?
Where
do you watch videos?
Netflix. Yeah.
Do you have cable?
Well, no. So we have Netflix. Yeah, we've never had it because
never had the cord.
Never had the cord. Never had the cord. We do Netflix, Apple TV, and Disney probably are like the three. And I think like with that you've got
that's
everything.
Enough.
Yeah, this is like, and we always saw this guy. What should we watch tonight? Should we watch this?
Yeah.
So, it's like
we have it all. What is the first app that you open when you wake up?
Ooh, that's a good one. Probably email. Yeah.
Email. What's the last app that you open when you go home? What's the app that you close before you go to sleep?
Probably WhatsApp or email.
WhatsApp or email.
Yeah. Well, in Europe, I think in the US it's a bit different. WhatsApp's not as big
because I'm here, everyone's on WhatsApp, so I've moved it to the front home screen of my. Congratulations!
you made it. You
made the big icon. Not even in the group of icons.
Oh, wow!
WhatsApp has made it on my phone, which is valuable real estate.
In the US, that's a big deal, right?
It is a big deal. I've never used WhatsApp. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, but now
everything's WhatsApp.
Yeah,
here.
Internationally, actually. Yeah. Except for
strange.
Bulgaria, my family's on Viber.
Oh,
yeah. I don't understand the Viber.
France too, a little bit has been a bit Viber,
Yeah, WhatsApp's better than Viber, for sure.
What do you use for messaging in the US then?
Just iMessage. Unless you have an Android friend.
Yeah, good.
And you have to deal with them.
That's 1%, man. It's okay.
You got to deal with them. What is an app that is unexpected that you have on your phone and that you use and that's valuable for our audience?
That's an interesting question. I'm not gonna obviously Tenzo, but I'm not I use it as a.
Do you have a Tenzo app for your customers? So they have their own app?
Yeah.
To check their reports?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and so that that is what I will often be looking at that and checking. I'm trying to think what else that I use. What I'll tell you the one is Gmail, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Spotify, X. Those are probably, and then.
Do you tweet?
No, I don't tweet, but I do find it to be a really useful resource to especially
for real-time information.
For real-time information, and also about specific topics. I think how we're seeing how quickly things are moving with LLMs and AI and all that. I think it's a really valuable way of following the right people to understand where things are going.
You should be tweeting then. Your LinkedIn content should be tweets.
Yeah, maybe. The incentive. So I've got about 25,000 LinkedIn followers.
Yeah, that's legit.
That's legit, right?
Very legit.
On LinkedIn, I'm just doing all that work on another platform now. It's painful, man.
It is painful, but it's omni-channel.
But
for the LLMs, that's how people get discovered. It adds to more authority.
Do you think more on X than on LinkedIn, or if I'm just doing it on LinkedIn,
If you're doing it on LinkedIn, I think you should be doing it Definitely on X for a tech founder for sure.
Okay.
But also YouTube.
Learn something every
You
day.
know, we spend a lot of time with Google, and as you know, Gemini's kind of Alphabet's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal for the LLMs, but like YouTube Shorts, like anything that you can, because you don't need to have a viral video anymore.
Yeah, because it
You
gets
just need
picked
to
up
have
by
a
the LLMs
specific.
anyway.
You just need to have a specific video.
So we started doing videos about what we're doing with the prompts and like
Yes.
with
That's
the Tenzo
good.
MCP.
That's a good idea.
But I do agree we should do more than that,
Yeah.
more on that front.
Anything that I didn't ask you that you should share about Tenzo or about London?
All about London. What's what you were saying Latimer's your favorite restaurant. Have you checked out Palomar?
Have not.
Oh, you should check that out. That is
We went to
great
Dishoom, which was really
Dishoom's amazing.
They were phenomenal.
They're
And I've heard that the breakfast is even better than the dinner.
Yeah.
I've been told by multiple people.
Yeah, I mean, I love Dishoom breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Have you tried Flatiron?
No.
You should check out Flatiron.
Flatiron, okay.
Yeah, steaks, very good.
What's your favorite London monument?
Ooh.
One London monument.
Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. I've got to say Buckingham Palace, I think.
Yeah.
Just there's so many, but I do,
Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
Not the Tower Bridge.
Tower Bridge is that was the other one I was debating, but I don't know, but either of those. But there's so many. I'm
What are
not
they going to do
thinking
with
of
the telephone booths? Are they going to keep those?
Well, I saw the other day someone just repainting one. I don't know if it was
I mean, it's kind of a thing for Americans. We're like, yeah, it's a telephone.
I think
booth.
we have to keep them for
you
the
have
Americans.
I think you have to
But
keep
I think they've
just for
started-
the Americans.
They start some of
What are
them.
we going to do? What is Instagram going to do if there's no
Yes,
phone booths and
exactly.
double-decker
There's
buses?
no point going. Some of them they started putting internet kiosks.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's nice.
But even that, everyone's got an
Yeah.
iPhone now. So what's the point, right?
Yeah. Well, this is why we do the show. This was a phenomenal conversation. I love everything that you guys are building. We appreciate the hospitality. You guys can reach out to me. I'm weirdly available at Shawn P. Walchef, Instagram, LinkedIn. Those are probably the fastest, but I'm weirdly available on all the platforms. Christian, what's the best place for people to keep in touch with you? LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn.
Let's get him to 30,000 followers.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Christian Mouysset.
Very good.
Christian Mouysset.
Yeah.
And Tenzo. How do people find Tenzo? You guys on Instagram?
Yeah, well, a small presence, but
Soon
mostly.
to be.
Well, no, we do have, but I don't think
There's a lot of restaurant leaders on Instagram.
Yeah,
it is
a
a
great place.
sleepy pace for restaurant tech, but I'm telling you, it's a good place.
It's a good place because all the restaurateurs are there.
They're all there.
The best place to find it is probably gotenzo.com or on LinkedIn, or just email sales@gotenzo.com.
Beautiful. We appreciate you guys. As always, stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this long, you are part of the community. You're part of the tribe. We can't do this alone. We started, no one was listening. Now we have a community of digital hospitality leaders all over the globe. Please check out our new series called Restaurant Technology Substack. It's a Substack newsletter. It's free. It's some of our deep work on the best technology for restaurants. Also go to YouTube and subscribe to Cali Barbecue Media. Cali BBQ Media on YouTube. We've been putting out a lot of new original content. Hopefully you guys like that content. If you want to work with us, go to betheshow.media. We show up all over the United States, some international countries. We would love to work with you and your growing brand on digital storytelling. You can reach out to me anytime at Shawn P. Walchef on Instagram. I'm weirdly available. Stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode.